Yep, he wants...
Schnell in Deckung jetzt.
Oh, crux. Hey there, and welcome to day 9 of this USA vs Germany Conquest campaign. Today we are attacking Maupertus Airfield in Normandy in France, and we are going to bring tanks this time around. So I haven't really leaned on tanks, and it's a sort of an itch that I've been dying to scratch. So for this one we're going to largely put all our infantry and units into a carrier and then roll out the heavy armor. So for this we're bringing 4 tanks. We are bringing an M4A176W, which we used earlier in day 7. And then we're bringing the upgraded version, the M4A376W HVSS. So you ask what the differences are between these two tanks, the early model and the later one. Well, they're both welded, but the difference is that the HVSS has got a couple of extra quality of life features about it. So they're all very subtle, but it's got a smoother engine. It can shoot while on the move a little bit easier. It has an easier time while shooting on the move, and a couple of other odds and ends. The armor is largely the same. The other big difference is the gun is marginally better. So this is an M4A1L52 caliber 76mm, while the earlier version is a M1A1. Both high velocity and both can pen Tiger. That's a 96mm at 200 meters, and this is 99mm at 200 meters. It's not too much of a big difference. And then we're also bringing the GMC, the 90mm GMC M36B1. This is simply a 90mm gun bolted on top of the HVSS chassis. So same chassis, just with a heavy caliber gun bolted to the top at L53 90mm gun. This is a tank destroyer, essentially. This is the Panther and a Tiger destroyer, 139mm at 200 meters. We're also bringing Warren and Ernest. I think this is them. Yeah, there they are. But I'm going to pop them off their mount or their placement and stick them in the troop carrier, so they can just get a sort of a front row seat. I have a suspicion this might be the last day. I don't think so, though. I think you usually wrap up on day 10 and do a defense, but I think during the Finland campaign I also muddled things up, so we'll see. And they're also bringing a tank crew just to collect salvage, whatever these things don't blow up, a medic, a supply truck, and 2 scout cars to sit in the flanks. And with that out the way, let's get going. Alright, let's spawn in. I'm going to put let's dismount Warren and Ernest.
Yes, sir.
We'll just have them sit behind. What's tricky about this map is that the enemy are coming in from the north, so they're coming in from the side. It's basically one big flank. Bring in some armor. HVSS. It also has got more acceleration, but I don't think it's something you necessarily pick up in a game like this. Perhaps if you're playing World of Tanks or something like that, you might notice it. I'm sure it's in there. This game, it pretty much simulates whatever information can be found on a vehicle. Everyone's grouped up. Let's take this slowly. The tank destroyer's got about 200 meters of range. I think these do as well. Let's have a look here. 190, yeah. So everything is pretty much well ranged. So that's the formation really. It's just the tanks in the middle and the scout cars on the periphery to scout and scan. These have 100 mils of armor, so really not much is going to get through. If anything, the scout cars are vulnerable. The reason I don't have the SD231s is because they take 5 crew, whereas these only take 3. And that counts, especially if they get hit. You lose fewer men. And ultimately they perform the same job. At least that's what I use them for. Sure, there's subtleties, but I need something that can see 185 meters. And both these cars do the same thing at a 40% discount in terms of manpower. Just got to keep an eye out from the north. That's why I'm fanning out a bit. Oh wow, alright, we got a massive load of them here. going to pull the scout car a bit back because there's likely to be armor behind them. Alright, let's move the tanks up. These tanks have got so many Brownings on them. Collectively there are there's probably about, there's 12 Brownings. There's 4 50 cals and 8 30 cals. There's so much firepower that they just don't really have a chance. Oh, there's a placement. That, I think, is probably MG34. Well, it was an MG34. Let's move them all in. Oh, hold on, we got armor. Stop that tank. Thing with the tanks is you don't want infantry to get too close. Stop, get back a bit. So it's very easy for them to just drop a satchel charge or a petrol bomb. So it turns into a bit of a turkey shoot with all those Brownings. Yeah. Total destruction. When one Browning runs out, just swap to the next one. Yeah, that is a back. Alright, let's capture the point. Point A, move the scout car in preemptively, just open up the fog of war. Vehicle right here. What are we looking at? Oh. Okay, that's fine. What was that? Oh, wow. They had an 88. Oh, we get to keep it as well. Oh, lucky us. That's pretty cool. If you don't know what this is a very interesting weapon that the Germans had in World War II. And its anti-tank capabilities were discovered during the Spanish Civil War. What is that? Oh, it's 7.5 Pak. Oh, Pak 40. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's a... What is he shooting at? I need to figure out what he's shooting at. He's shooting at this guy. That can take us out. And we have to take it out right now. Where is it? There it is. Can't let that shoot. That will devastate us. Okay, I'm going to send a tank over there immediately just to safeguard it. If the 88 or the Pak 40 get taken over, we are in trouble. Because that shell will pop these tanks. Ah, see, it's already... No. They want to take it, and they can't. To keep on top of that. At the same time, we also kind of want it. So, hold on. See, this guy's crawling desperately to it. Oh, I don't want to drive it over. I want to keep it. Yep, he wants. Oh, crux. Yeah, these guys need to get down. I did bring a medic. We need the other tanks in here ASAP. There he is. Okay, our medic is on the way. Needs to help out here. Gotta get the medic there. Where's that scout car? Go. I want to drop the scout car by the 88 as well. That's also very dangerous. And that wasn't even a Pak 40 that took us out. That was the satchel charge. I'm trying to figure out why this medic... I know my automedic mod is running, so I'm wondering if there's somebody underneath the tank that's alive. I highly doubt it. Didn't ask him to repair... Yes, there is. There is someone under the tank. Can we... Okay. Okay, tank is repaired. Can we get someone in there? No. We've got someone... and poor guy trapped under the tank. I don't know how. I don't know why. Okay, tank looks like... Can you get in? Yes, you can. See if you can move it forward and help rescue our poor soldier. We'd be lucky if the guy underneath survives the move. I'm hoping... I just have to drive in a straight line because by virtue of being underneath a tank, it's not going to crush him. It would have crushed him anyway. Very strange. I'm not too sure how that happened, but yeah, there's a dude under... Oh, he's dead. Yeah. Couldn't repair the tank in time. Didn't expect that, but we got a Pak 40 and we got a Pak 40 and an 88. So that's quite a powerful, well, that's quite a potent salvage. That. All right, let's go sort this stupid capture point out once and for all. I'm gonna move the rest of the guys in. Okay, I'm just gonna drive because the AR's accuracy is to be desired. And we are capturing the point. Pretty quick. I would have been quicker if we hadn't gotten satchel charged. And while that's happening, I'm going to start capturing vehicles. Alright, that's the mission done. I want to go off and salvage everything quick. Alright, the salvage is done. And we got the 88, the famous 88 anti-aircraft gun. This has got 148 mils of pen, as you can see on the screen, aimed at that car. If we go and get our... Where's the Pak 40? Pak 40 is over here. It's a little bit further away, but pen is 139, a bit further away. So the Pak 40 and the 88 are almost the same. I would say if they were at the same ranges, the 88 would still win, given its shell size and its velocity. What's the caliber? 56 versus L46. Yeah, 88's got a higher velocity. To put that into perspective, the M1A2 has got 124 mils of pen at the closest range. So it's to say that this gun is a high velocity tank killer, and it was utilized in the Spanish Civil War and pretty much lasted throughout the whole of World War II for the German side at least, and the Pak 40 came much later. Of the things that we salvaged, we just got a couple of cars, SDK 231 and a 221, and I think we picked up a command car, a VW82, and there it is in all its splendor. Comes with a drum MG34, I think. Yeah, MG34. The MG34, I've said MG34 and MG42 throughout the series quite a lot. If you're wondering what the differences were, obviously the MG34, okay, maybe it's not obvious, but the MG34 came before the MG42, and it was prolific. It was the mainstay. It was in tanks. It was on pretty much all German equipment. The MG42 came later, but its rate of fire was 1,200 rounds a minute, approximately 1,200 rounds a minute. You think about it, 20 bullets a minute, a second. That's a lot of bullets per second. But because it had such a high RPM, it made it a little bit more inaccurate, or supposedly that's what the soldier said. So the MG34 was preferred. It was a bit more delicate. The MG34 was a more delicate piece of equipment, but because of its slow rate of fire, it tended to be easier to aim, easier to manage, better accuracy essentially because of that lower RPM. Anyway, let's have a look at the unit performance quick. All right, we lost 4 men. We lost one of the crewmen in the scout car, and then we had the satchel charge hit our M4A1, and then we just cleaned them out. There was a turkey shoot essentially. We look at the units, the tank crew. I took control and killed 2 guys in the Pak 40 before they could take control of it. M4A1 the early version. Yeah, again, it's hard to tell what happened today. and what happened in the past. However, looking at the kills, I'm sure, the vehicle kills, I'm sure it got a large margin because it's got 8 over the 4, 1 and 2. I don't think that's anything necessarily to do inherently with the tank itself. I think it was largely up to positioning and maybe the turret turn speed, because technically the HVSS is an upgrade to the early. So I'm sure it did well in its own right in this round by virtue of positioning, but in the grand scheme of things, technically, if these were in the same position, these might have done equally as well. And because these were the debut of this tank, it got 92 kills in the session. So perhaps if the M4 early had today's kills removed, the M4A3 would have actually taken the lead. And there's the victory screen. So the campaign actually finished early at day 9, which is a little bit sad. I thought we'd have an extra day. I will actually probably do day 10. I'll do a defense of this map. We cannot capture a Puck 40 and an 88 and not use them. So I learned a lot about infantry. I hope you guys learned more about the American units. I've been largely playing Finland, the Soviets, and Germany, and I haven't played the Commonwealth, and I haven't played America. I really like the Americans, and I will do another playthrough. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. I appreciate the views and the engagement. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again soon. Cheers.